Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. Really good to have you back with me again. Sorry, just moving a few things out of the way. Okay, so today we are finishing, no, we're not finishing, we're moving on to the next episodes in our Creating a Page Layout Ideas book. So the idea for today is going to be very simple because my book is filling up fast and furious, and I do worry about how much room I have left to play with. So I am cutting both of these. They should be 6 by 6s. I can never quite get 6 by 6 right, so I'm going to have to. And of course the 6-inch falls smack in the middle of that little piece there, which always causes a problem. So I say there, just below that line. Okay, we do need these pieces square, so I'm hoping that that's about right. And what we're going to do with these is we are going to make some envelopes. They're not exactly spot on, so we may find that, let's try and trim the end. If they're not entirely spot on and you are using an envelope machine, then you will find it doesn't give you a perfect envelope. but we will give it a go. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 2 5/8, I think. Okay, so 2 5/8 is about there. And what I would say is, if you're using one of these things and you're not familiar with it, just be a little bit cautious of the scoring you do, because I always end up putting a little hole through my paper. So I try to do it a little bit more gently. Gently. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple of these because I don't know how many I'm going to need. So I'm going to go with 3 for now. And they've started off just under 6 inches by 6 inches. And I'm using the, I think it's the We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. Okay, so that's 2, and I'm going to use this one because I'm not overly fussed on the world map. Okay. I'm not overly fussed on these things either. I never seem to get it quite right. But they do look good if you can kind of persevere with it. Okay. So we've got our 3 envelopes, I'm hoping. Just gonna cut or shape the ends. It does look a little bit nicer when they're a bit softer. Okay, so just get rid of those. So we've got our 3 envelopes. I'm just going to fold these over on the natural fold lines. They look to be okay actually, which is good. And you can choose obviously what you want to be more visible, which pattern. I'm going to go with the patterned sides rather than the well, they're both patterned, but rather than the plainer pattern, if you like, if that even makes sense. Okay, so we've got 3 of these here, and literally all we are going to do is we're going to get our page layout book, and we are going to place these okay, what I'm going to need to okay. Great. So I'm not gonna, I may as well, I ink everything, so I'm just cutting out a step if I don't do it. I'm being lazy. So I'm just gonna ink around these edges. And the same with this one. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal my envelopes. Now you don't need to necessarily seal them. You can, if you would prefer, actually leave them so that they open and create a journaling spot for you, depending on the kind of card you've used. If you've used busy card like this, you can even put some paper inside that's going to kind of give you that option. So that is our one. And our second one, you're going to do the same with. Again, if you wanted to, you could leave it open so that you've got a journaling spot. Okay, and literally for this project, all I am going to do is these are going to be placed like so. Okay, so almost like that. And what we're going to do with this bottom one is we're going to attach it to the page on 2 sides. So we create for ourselves a nice little text spot. Here. Now you could, if you really wanted to, as I said, open this, leave it open. You've already attached it here. You would open that up and have more writing space in between. I've sealed it, so all I've got from this one is a text spot here and a pocket here. What we'll do then with this one is we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to leave ourselves enough room so that we can open the envelopes. But with this one, I am going to attach it down the left, down the right, and across the bottom. So instead of a text spot, it gives us a pocket. just move that one out of the way for now. So you'll either have your envelopes closed, or you can leave this one open and have that one closed. You've got an envelope space in here, you've got an envelope space in here, you've got a tuck spot here, which will allow you quite a lot of room actually to put something behind there before it gets in the way of the envelope. And then on this envelope here, we've got the envelope inside space here, and we've got a small pocket on the top, which is ideal for little tags and tabs and whatever else. I tend to like to leave the envelopes with the one page open and the other one closed. If you really wanted to, you could stitch this, not stitch it, sorry, you could glue this here. You've still got your text spot, but you've got your envelope open at the same time. But a really, really, really mega simple page layout, just using a couple of envelopes. So you've got that space, but it's just a little bit different, a little bit quirky, and you've given yourself a few extra bits and pieces like the text spot and the pocket behind. That is our first page layout. We're going to try and get all three done tonight so that I can then move on and do the flip through even of the completed one. What I am conscious of as well is how thick this is getting, so I'm trying not to put too much more bulk. But as I said, real simple. Once you start putting embellishments and some clusters on these, they do look really, really good. So simple concept, just using envelopes and making the most out of them. So our next page layout is going to be for, have I passed it? I may have passed the paper. Yep, I have, I think. Yeah, we've got two more sheets left here, and these are going to be for our final page layouts. Okay, so for the next page layout, move those to the side. We are going to work again with 6x6. And for the first page, I want to mirror the paper that is already being used. But a 6x6 is going to be a little bit on the big side. So I'm going to actually cut this down a little bit. So we've got a 5, perhaps a 5.5 by 6. Well, let's do 5.5 by 6. I think, or do we do 5.25? Yeah, I'm going to go with 5.25. So we're just going to move this out of the way. So we have got wallpaper behind there trying to settle. So we've got 5.25. I'm just going to take this corner piece off, and we are going to glue around it. We're not going to glue around it either. We're going to ink around it. I can't believe how often I just don't even think about what I'm saying and completely use the wrong word. I'm sure there's a name for that. May as well do this one while we're at it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I want to create a pocket. Now we could do, quite like the idea of a fabric pocket. We do lose a bit of the pattern, but Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Gosh, don't know where that came from. But as long as we don't have it too high, then we don't lose too much of the pattern. Alternatively, you can use vellum, which is great as a see-through option. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this fabric. It's quite light anyway, so you can see partly through it. So let's go with that and see what it looks like. We can always change our mind. I'm using Fabri-Tac for this. Oops, I'm getting more over the board than I am over the card. What I tend to do with Fabri-Tac, and I've seen quite a few people do this, so I don't know who I got it from first, but if you use just your finger or a little brush or whatever, just to go over the edges where you've put the Fabri-Tac, you don't tend to get that real strong bleed through. Got a little bit there, but nothing like you get if you don't do it. And luckily the Fabri-Tac comes off your hands quite easily. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this piece off here. There. And there. Okay, I'm now going to just do a tiny bit of stenciling, literally just a tiny bit of stenciling. You could use inking stamp. I just want to use a little bit of stenciling. To give it more of a, or less of a plain look. And then what we're also going to do is we are also going to put a piece across here, which is going to be a small belly band. Now you can, again, I'm going to attach this with some Fabri-Tac just because I'm using the glue it onto the fabric. As I said, you can use sorry, I tend to find it difficult to talk when I'm concentrating. You could have used vellum if you wanted to, and that would have given you more of a sheer see-through look. I kind of quite like the fabric look, except I've got a bit of pen there where I completely misjudged that. And I'm just going to pop around here with some ink. Again, you can stitch around here if you want to make it a little bit stronger. You could, if you wanted to, do the pocket down the side, which is what I'm going to show you with another piece now, because I'm going to do the same sort of design, but just on the other page. So, where's my card? I think we're going to go with this one here. And again, we are going to cut this down so that it's, I think I'm going to go a little bit smaller with this one. I think I'm going to go 5 by 5. No, I'll go 5 by 6 still, because the pages are quite big in this. Again, just cutting the corner off. ink it around the edges. Okay, so we have got some vellum on this one instead of fabric. So we're gonna be putting this, just gluing this across. Just gonna guesstimate on this, and then if we're wrong, we can just top it up. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna smudge this, even though it's our glitter glue, because again, with vellum, I find it kind of shrinks when you put it on your paper, and that's not a good look. So I'm just going to push this down here. Still get to see lots of the page underneath, which is always a good thing, especially if you kind of like the style. Just going to take off the excess here. And then with this one, we're going to do a full belly band going down the centre here. And again, all we're doing is we're using the 6x6 card, and we're using all of it, even though we're cutting it down to size. So we've got two what look to be quite plain side tucks, and they are quite plain side tucks as they are, and this is where you get the opportunity to really go all out and embellish them. So these are just some bits and pieces I made in my last mass make. So I'm going to see what we like, what we don't. Okay, got some of those. Got one of these. Got a couple of these. Okay. I've also need to grab one of these. I'm hoping everything doesn't go all over the place. Okay. So I'm liking these two. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them both, but I am liking them. I'm also liking that one, and possibly that one. So we're just giving ourselves some options now. We have also got some of the Tim Holtz journal cards. Now, some of these are actually from this pad, I believe, or the same sort of pattern as the pad. So I'm hoping I've got some left. I might not have, but it's worth a look. That's a possibility. That's the one. Is it going to be too tall anyway? Well, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. So we've got that one which goes with that card, and we've got that one which goes with that. And we should then have some of the smaller ones to match. And I'm just going for a theme that kind of runs through, but doesn't have to. And, if you don't have the Tim Holtz, if you don't have these journal cards, then you're probably saving yourself a lot of money. I do love them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're kind of right for every project or every person. So that one there. Hoping, yeah, that one there. There we go. So I'm just going to pop these away before I lose them, as I do everything else on my desk. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So we have got some journal cards for this side, some journal cards for this side. I'm just going to ink those up a little bit so that they kind of look the same. And I'm saying I want to do a really thin profile piece, and then go and add lots of journal cards. So, yeah. Not really making much sense. But I do love the memoranda, whatever, book. Yeah, really, really love that. It's one of my favourites, I think, out of the Tim Holtz books. He's brought a lot of new ones out recently, and some of them are really nice, but they just, I don't know, they're just not my particular fit, Okay, so we've got these here, we have got these here, we've got those, and we've got those. And I'm just looking for something green, which could be that. I think it is going to be that, or no, that one. Okay, so it's probably easier to get the book first of all. Not sure how much room we've got to play with, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, so again, we're going to glue this down the left side and across the bottom to give us a full size tack spot. When I say full size, I mean, that's pretty much dominates the page. So that is our tack spot there. We're going to do exactly the same on this page here. Okay. So again, another full size tack. We have got a full-size pocket behind here. We've got a smaller pocket here. And we have got a belly band. Now, in this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this. Now, this is literally just a band I've made that goes around a piece of coffee dyed paper. I'm not going to take it out because when I do, it takes me a little bit of time to get it back in. But it literally is a piece of coffee dyed paper that I folded up and folded up and folded up, put a little band around it, and what you end up with is a fold down writing space. And I am going to just attach that to my belly band, and I'm going to pop that there. Again, if you want to put tags tabs on your tags, then that is another option. I just like to keep this particular theme together. I think it's really, really pretty. As I said, it is one of my favourites. Okay, and then on this one here, we have got our large journal card again. This one is going in further. We've also got our smaller journal card, which is going to tuck in there. We've got another one here, which we can tuck into our belly band. We can either fix this onto the belly band, oops daisy, like so. Or if we'd have wanted to, we could have put another one of those on the belly band. We could even pop that up there and have this little cutie here with a butterfly that completely outsizes her. But yeah, there's lots of different options for you in terms of decorating these pages. You know, they are really basic. They're a side tuck, but you then create another pocket and a belly band on the same piece. You're using it to house an altered paper clip. You could fill it with as many journal cards as you like, because you've got loads and loads of space to work with. Exactly the same on the other side. We've done this one slightly different. We've used fabric instead of vellum for our pocket. We've done a, what's the word? We've done a horizontal belly band and a horizontal pocket on this one, whereas this one is diagonal. Again, you can pop yourself a little altered paper clip on there, and you've got 2 pages that you can kind of build on and build on and build on. But yeah, 2 really simple concepts, but I think they look really, really effective, and they don't take, I mean, this is going to take a little bit more space, but this one here has got a pretty flat profile. So yeah, they're not huge. And as I said, I think they look really, really effective. So they are the last 2 of our pages. Yay! So the next video is going to be a flip through. So yeah, really excited. Excited to be able to share the finished one with you, and also excited to kind of be able to move on to the next project as well. All of this has been inspired by Corey Dahmen from Creating with Scraps, and by a host of creators who I've taken inspiration from for individual pages. As I've said quite often throughout the series, this is all about sharing good ideas, or, you know, ideas that other people may be able to take and possibly even build on and make it bigger and better. But yeah, I have really, really enjoyed sharing this with you. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. But as for now, that is our, oh gosh, that is our inside completely finished. And the next step, as I said, will be a run through or a flip through. So I will see you when that is good and ready. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves, and I do genuinely mean that, and we will catch up again soon. Bye for now.